may now request Ms. Abha Singh, renowned advocate and activist, to address the young minds.
Namaskar, good afternoon. Dignitaries on the dais. Dr. Oman was teaching in JNU when I was a student there. That is, I'll also have to remember, 86, 87. And it's a pleasure to see him here. Your chairman, Dr. Sandeep Marwa, who's also the president of the Asian Education Group. I can see he's very passionate, very motivated, and a brilliant speaker, and who is really concerned. So all of you whose first day it is, you've come here for your orientation, I can see you are in very good hands, very safe hands, because he is going to really shape you well. Because when your chairman, your president is so involved and so passionate, law is all about passion, justice is all about passion. So at least I can see one silver lining, that you've come to a very good college. Then you have Dr. Srivastav, other dignitaries, Mr. Saurabh Sharma, Gurdeep Singh Rana. I've been hearing your speeches, and I think the faculty, and also I can presume that some of you are teachers here, faculty here, the students. So, and I will not forget Mr. Ravi Sharma, wherever he is, because since 1 year he's been after me. You know, today is a working day for a lawyer. High Court is open, and I have left Bombay High Court to come and speak to you, because since last year he's been emailing to me. So your staff and your faculty is very dedicated to, like you, Dr. Marwa. So since this is your orientation program, and I thought what a young student who is entering the legal field, what are the things you need first in your mind? There will be a lot of questions, there will be a lot of issues. You know, what is the legal system? I mean, since I came into this legal field, I've been there only for 10 years. I left my civil services, a service which today, I mean the UPSC, where today even 15 lakh students are appearing, and I'm sure some of you must be still thinking, कि law करके तो हमको IAS का exam देना है. But here is a lawyer who has left the civil services to practice law. So, when somebody said, you are going to change your destiny, you are going to study law for yourself. No. You are going to change the destiny of the country. You are going to be the change maker. You are going to influence history, because a lawyer, if you watch your history of this country, be it Jawaharlal Nehru, be it so many leaders who've been in this country, they have been lawyers. Mr. Chidambaram was a lawyer. Jaitley, who was a minister, was a lawyer. So ultimately, law is required by everyone. Be it in your fight for justice, be it in your fight for your rights, be it in your right to ensure that you get what is your due. In today's world, when you watch TV and you see that a poor villager in Orissa is carrying the dead body of his wife on his shoulders home because he did not get an ambulance or he did not get a vehicle, then who can come to his assistance? If the government does not come to his assistance, it's a lawyer, a socially public committed lawyer who can go knock the doors of the High Court, file a PIL and say, why are the basic fundamental rights not being ensured to a common man in this country? So friends, children, this is the field you are joining. So be proud of what college you have come to, be proud of the course you are going to do. Because what is the ability of the legal system? The ability of the legal system is to improve the lives of the impoverished and to make sure that the scales of justice remain within the reach of everyone, regardless of their socio-economic status. And this is where law truly shines, irrespective of whether you have money, irrespective of you being a marginalized community. You, under the Constitution, are entitled to your rights, to your dues, and that is what law of this land ensures. And you, as advocates of the court, as friends of the court, are going to ensure that every citizen, every human being in this country gets his due, gets all the rights. The preamble, what does the preamble talk of? It talks of equality. How do you ensure equality? It talks of justice. How do you ensure justice? You will ensure through your knowledge of law. So do not waste your time. So many of you apply to me for your internship. But for me it is shocking that you have studied for 2 years, 3 years, but when I take an interview, 2 basic questions you are unable to answer. If I ask what is a suit, you start fumbling. If I ask what is defamation, you don't know that there is a civil and a criminal defamation. So you have a faculty, a very illustrious faculty, you have a lovely college, do not waste your time. Law is all about excellence, and till the time you don't know the laws, you will not be able to be successful as a lawyer, as an advocate. The Supreme Court. There are 1 or 2 cases which I want you to read about, and that is why I especially wrote this out. Otherwise, I never read out a speech. You know, the Supreme Court of this country has time and again come forward as the rightful flag bearer of justice. You have a Supreme Court that takes suo motu cognizance. The Manipur women issue was taken suo motu by the Supreme Court. Law students have written letters to Supreme Court, and Supreme Court has taken up those issues. So, look, in the case which I want you all in your due course to read about is the case Puttaswamy versus UI, Union of India, which sought to challenge the constitutional validity of the Aadhaar card scheme, and where a 9-judge bench of the Apex Court unanimously reaffirmed the right to privacy as a fundamental right under the Constitution of India. You should know, right to privacy was not there as a specific fundamental right in Chapter 3 of the Constitution. But when the issue arose, that time a 9-member bench said that right to privacy is a fundamental right. So the court held in favor of the fundamental rights that the right to privacy was integral to freedom guaranteed across fundamental findings, and exclusive mention it may not find. And what the court said that this was right to privacy was an intrinsic aspect of dignity, autonomy and liberty, despite the same not finding an exclusive mention in the Constitution. So what you need to know is constitutional morality is above everything. Today when I read about honor killings, I am aghast. Supreme Court has time and again said that honor killing cannot be tolerated, Khaap-like behavior cannot be tolerated, mob lynching cannot be tolerated, and that is why the government now is coming with a specific offense for mob lynching. The present government, you must have heard the Home Minister Amit Shah speaking in Rajya Sabha, where they said that we are going to bring death penalty for mob lynching. I would like death penalty to come also for honor killing, because I feel that is the most heinous offense. What is honor killing? Honor killing is when your own parents, जब अपने माँ बाप खुद अपने बच्चों को मारने लग जाते हैं क्योंकि वो दूसरे धर्म में शादी कर रहे हैं, वो दूसरी कास्ट में कर रहे हैं. और इसके लिए even today IPC does not have a specific offense. Honor killing today is also tried under murder. So that is where honor killing. Now that is the job you can do. Today when the new law is coming and you are saying that for mob lynching there is death penalty, you law students under the guidance of your able teachers petition the Supreme Court and say for honor killings also we require a specific IPC offense. How can an offense जिसमें एक बाप एक माँ अपने बच्चे का गला घोट दे उसको आप मर्डर कैसे कह सकते हैं? मर्डर तो एक अनजान आदमी करता है, मर्डर तो प्रॉपर्टी के लिए भी होता है. तो this is the biggest pressure of a community. So I think there are so many loopholes in the law which you need to plug, and I think in your 5-year of career, some of you are BA LLB 5-year course, some of you are from the 3-year course. So be specific. How many of you know why this Noida tower was ordered to be demolished by the Supreme Court? So be aware. How many, raise your hands, आज कौन-कौन अखबार पढ़ के आया है सुबह? किसी ने अखबार पढ़ा है? स्टूडेंट से पूछ रही हूँ, फैकल्टी ने तो पढ़ा होगा. I ask this everyone. Not many children read the newspaper, but now when you are becoming a lawyer, it is a must that you read the newspaper. Do you know one journalist has been murdered in Bihar? Vimal Yadav. Why? I will talk of the justice system now. Because he was the witness in the killing of his brother in 2019. So my question is, from 2019 to 2023, why this case was not decided? क्या सिर्फ तारीख पे तारीख जो पिक्चरों में दिखाते हैं वो हमेशा चलती रहेगी? अगर had this case been decided in 2 years, this witness would have been alive today. So this is the drawback of the system, that it goes on and on. Secondly, India does not have a very healthy, robust witness protection program, because this journalist was a witness in the killing of his brother, and that is why din dahade people came, knocked on his door and shot him dead. So now what would you do as a lawyer? At least if I was, even today also, if I was living in Patna, because I practice in Bombay High Court, but I can, the option is still there. I live in Mumbai, but I filed a PIL in Bombay High Court, sorry, Lucknow High Court, saying that the witness protection program needs to be implemented. So please make some notes that witness protection program is something you need to ask your faculty about. You need to work on it, because when I filed this PIL in Lucknow bench of Allahabad High Court, the judges told me, the bench told me, oh, why have you come here? Why don't you go to the Supreme Court? I said, Lordship, Supreme Court has already given guidelines, but it is the states which are not following it. Had the witness protection guidelines been implemented, this journalist Vijay Yadav would have been alive. So this is the importance of judicial activism. And who will do judicial activism? It will be lawyers, activist lawyers like me, or it would be activist legal interns some of you may like to become. So these are the issues which you can change, be the change makers, you can plug the loopholes of the legal justice system. Another thing which I wanted to talk to you about is the Uniform Civil Code. Lot of people are saying this is election year, चुनाव का साल है, लोगों को divide करने के लिए Uniform Civil Code की बात की जा रही है. But I would like to say no. Uniform Civil Code is required because women have been subjugated, women have been discriminated upon. Because what are the UCC will deal with marriage, inheritance, divorce, and let me tell you, when it comes to property, so many women are sitting here. How many of you have got property from your maika, from your mother's house? है कोई जिसको अपने मायके से अपने माँ बाप के जमीन में अधिकार मिला है? There's one lady. Anyone else? Two. And I'm sure there must be at least in the inheritance, if you have got the share which your brothers have given to you, that means the court is effective. Otherwise, let me tell you, 4 of you have raised hands, you would be at least 50 of you sitting here. A woman never gets her share, even after the Supreme Court order of 2005. So what is important is that you have to ensure that the law is followed in the true sense. And who can do that? Who can ensure that you get your share? It will be your students in the long run. The students who are joining today, I can see 5 years hence, you would be standing up that this is the law of the land. But how will you fight the case? Only when you know what the Hindu Succession Act says, what does the Supreme Court Amendment of 2005 says. Law is not easy. Law requires hard work. Law requires, to be a good lawyer, you require compassion, you require empathy. You cannot just think that I've come here to earn money. The moment you think of justice, you will burn the midnight oil, you will work round the clock to see that you win the case. Or even if you lose, you will have the grit and gumption to go to the higher court, go to the Supreme Court, not take defeat easily. So this is what is important, is that is the reason why Uniform Civil Code is very important. Now another thing, the Home Minister said that there should be 90% conviction. Do you know how much is the conviction rate right now? In rape cases, the conviction rate is 29%, which means out of 100, 70 rapists go scot-free. In cognizable offences, which are crime, the conviction rate is 66%. And other offences, conviction rate is 50%. And that is the reason why there is so much crime. The moment a criminal thinks, I can get away, that emboldens him. So these are the issues which you need to look into. And I would here like to quote Professor Faizan Mustafa when he says, personal laws are not just different laws. they are also discriminatory laws. So that is the reason we require the Uniform Civil Code. In fact, Justice Ruma Pal very clearly says, constitutionalism does not imply a silence of the constitution and important political, social and economic issues. Seize the chance to influence legal doctrine in a way that promotes equality, gives voice to the voiceless, and encourages a society that values variety. So this is where you are taking law at a very crucial time. Somebody mentioned that I had filed the right to dissent. I'm going to tell you what it was. You remember an 8-year-old girl who was raped in Jammu Kashmir? So we were doing a protest on Carter Road in Bandra. We went and asked for a permission from the police. We were 5 NGOs. I run that NGO called RannSamar. So we all came together and we said we need to say, how can a young child be kidnapped, raped and her dead body found after 5 days? So you know what the police did? This is the very smart thing जो पुलिस करती है, वो आपको धारा, if you know 144 CRPC, वो सेक्शन 144 लगा देती है, धारा 144 लगा देगी और कहेगी आप लाउड स्पीकर नहीं यूज कर सकते. So we asked for permission. They did not. They gave us permission to hold the protest, but उन्होंने लिख दिया कि आप लाउड स्पीकर नहीं यूज कर सकते. अब आप ये सोचिए, यहाँ से वहाँ तक लोग बैठे हैं और मैं लाउड स्पीकर बंद कर दूँ तो कितने लोग मेरी आवाज सुन पाएंगे? मेरा तो सारा बोलना ही बेकार हो जाएगा. But that day we said ठीक है, हम अपना प्रोटेस्ट तो करेंगे because there was immense support for that little girl. And so I said कोई नहीं, आज का दिन पुलिस वालों का है, लेकिन बाकी 364 days मेरे होंगे. I went, I filed a PIL in Bombay High Court before the Chief Justice that was called right to dissent. I told the learned court that how is 144 all the year throughout. It turned out when I asked under RTI, Mumbai made 200 days, almost 200 days they were doing 144. Also, loudspeakers can not be used only in silence zone. So when as a lawyer you will realize that silence zone का meaning भी बहुत important होता है. Silence zone is only the small area which is outside a hospital or a school. And Carter Road was neither near a hospital nor a school. So it clearly showed कि पुलिस ने अपनी दी हुई पावर का मिसयूज किया था और एक आम आदमी चूंकि वो डर जाता है, पुलिस से पंगा नहीं लेना चाहता, इसलिए बाकी सब पढ़े लिखे लोगों ने शांति से कहा ठीक है, बिना माइक के हम काम चला लेंगे. But I said no. I went alone. I showed the Chief Justice. I said this was what it was given and now I want you to pass an order. And you will be happy to know, Dr. Marwa, that the High Court said that the police had done wrong by not allowing me to use the loudspeaker. You know that order is there. It is called right to dissent. They said ki how could they deny you loudspeaker, and loudspeaker can only be denied in a silent zone which is outside a hospital or a school, or the timings which you say after 10. So this was one issue. The disability PIL. The disability PIL I filed because one lady came to me and said my husband is on a wheelchair and he also wants to go to movies, he also wants to go to restaurants, and when the law says that there should be no disparity, so why there are not ramps? She says उसको when we have to take holiday हम विदेश जाते हैं क्योंकि हमको वहीं पे आराम से wheelchair चल सकती है. So I did a file, the right to access in the High Court, and the BMC laws. The BMC laws are very clear. They say कि किसी भी नई building की occupation certificate, the DCR rules, the BMC rules say that OC, occupation certificate will not be given till the time the building, the restaurant, the theatre has a ramp. And we had quoted 30 buildings. अगर आप कभी भी मुंबई जाएं और कमला मिल्स में आप तमाशा रेस्टोरेंट में जाएं या आप नेहरू सेंटर में जेट गार्डन में जाएं, मेरी इस PIL के बाद वहां पे सब रैम्प्स बनाए गए. You know, so this is the power which you will get. This is the authority, this is the issue which you will get once you do your law, but not just a degree, when you gain knowledge, when you gain excellence. So I think you all have done a good job by getting me for your orientation, because that is what it is. You know, orientation is this, that you have to be oriented towards excellence, not just getting a pass mark or getting a first division. जिस वक्त आपको ऑपोजिट लॉयर कुछ पूछेगा, आपकी डिग्री आप भूल जाएंगे, आप अपने मार्क्स भूल जाएंगे कि आई वॉज द टॉपर इन माई बैच। उस वक्त होगा कि आपको आईपीसी सेक्शन मालूम है, आपको मालूम है क्या लॉ का आप बात कर रहे हैं, कौन से एक्ट की बात कर रहे हैं। सो इन 5 years you have enough time to go through all these sections, you have enough time to be clear. In fact, if you know social justice, and there's something else I want to add. Yeah, just 1 minute. So you know, khabs, lot of khab type behavior takes place. Supreme Court has declared these khabs illegal. So now you as young students, wherever you see that they are trying to do that khab like behavior, go back to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has called all Director Generals of Police, all Chief Secretaries, and said it cannot be tolerated. So you must read the paper, you should know what is happening, and you must seize the chance to influence the legal doctrine in such a way that it promotes equality. Give voice to the voiceless. I always say, I am the voice of the silenced women. You talked of Salman Khan. I have handled 2 cases of Salman Khan. And after that hit and run case, Sessions Court mein I got 5 years of imprisonment ordered by the judge. But in High Court it was a different way because the police was compromised. He got away scot-free. The matter is still in Supreme Court. But in Sessions Court, when his hit and run 5-year punishment was given out, Salman wept in my court. And you know what was the newspaper report? They said, असली दबंग is Abha Singh. सलमान खान तो सिर्फ रील के दबंग है, लेकिन जमीन की दबंग is Abha Singh. Go Google that article. You know, so what is, I'm not a dabang because I have muscle power. I am dabang because I have the knowledge of law and I have the grit and gumption to take up these cases, and I have the courage to speak up, and I'm not scared. You know, that is what. Your AIB roast. The moment AIB roast came, that case was also mine. And I ensured that no AIB roast took place in India after the NSCI case. I am the one who got those 13 FIRs against your Karan Johar, Deepika Padukone, anyone you name. Because I said you can't make a mockery of women in this country. You can't treat us as a sexual object. And after that, no AIB roast took place. So be it the social sector, be it the anything. Justice requires passion, justice requires commitment, but above all, your degree is important, and above the degree is the knowledge of law. So that is what I want to say, and I will end with my last para. You know, Dr. Ambedkar, what did Dr. Ambedkar say? The Uniform Civil Code is something which is to come and which needs to be coming because it is in the interest of all of us. India having such a variety of caste, creed, that some uniformity is required. Also, manual scavenging I wanted to talk to you about. I read this article in the newspaper that 3 laborers have died while cleaning the septic tank. And there was one widow who had a 20-day-old child. And she's a migrant from West Bengal, doesn't know anybody. So I and my daughter decided to go and visit the widows. It was not a part of my job, but it was as a citizen of this country, as an empathic and compassionate person, we went and visited the widows. And my daughter, who was a fresh pass out of National Law School, Bangalore, took up the case, filed a writ in Bombay High Court. During COVID, she used to ensure that the widows come and be present in the court. You know, when in RTI we asked कि कितने septic tank cleaners के sewage workers की death हुई है, BMC Mumbai wrote to me 0, कि कोई death नहीं हुई है. फिर जब when the case came in the court, वो तीनों widows को मैंने हाई कोर्ट में खड़ा किया. मैंने कहा माय लॉर्ड, ये RTI का रिप्लाई है. BMC कहती है कि किसी की मृत्यु नहीं हुई है. अगर किसी की मृत्यु नहीं हुई है तो ये 3 विधवाएं यहाँ कैसे खड़ी हैं? ये क्या भूत है? And then what the BMC said, they said नहीं, हमने तो आउटसोर्स कर दिया है. सेप्टिक टैंक्स, नालों की सफाई हमने आउटसोर्स कर दिया है, हमारी जिम्मेदारी नहीं है, इसलिए हमको नहीं मालूम. It is not our responsibility. मैंने कहा जो BMC जिसका 56,000 करोड़ का एनुअल बजट है, 50,000 करोड़ माने रखता है, वो जो है इन गरीबों की जान की परवाह नहीं कर रही है. एंड इतना बड़ा प्रोग्रेसिव स्टेट पिछले 50 साल में 70 साल में भी एक भी विडो को कॉम्पेंसेशन नहीं दिया गया था, जबकि द सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑर्डर ऑफ 2013 सेज every widow should be given 10 lakh compensation immediately. The widows should be given vocational skills. The children should be given scholarships. So many things, but nothing. But there was one law student who in her first year of passing out fought for the widows, and that order came. And not only that, yesterday when I was coming for your lecture, I was coming here for this, we had a telecom, a video conversation with Rakesh Om Prakash Mehra, and this case he's making it into his next movie. So the lives of the widows, that there is a law. कानून तो 2013 में आया. The PEMSER Act came in 2013. But if a state like Maharashtra, if a city like Mumbai has not implemented, कानून तो बहुत सारे हैं. कानून को implement कौन करेगा? आप जो फ्यूचर में वकील बनने वाले हैं ना, वो करेगा. तो वो जज्बा रखिए जस्टिस का, have conviction, and that is what is required. And that is why I would say in my closing chapter, that closing paragraph, that in this, when you are surrounded by legal luminaries, when you have the constitution, you have the society transformation is required, and for justice you need to come together, and you need to not only learn from the books, but you want to work in the real life. You need to know where एक पेड़ भी कट रहा है, रुक जा वहाँ पे, सेल्फी लो, उसकी सेल्फी नहीं उसकी फोटो लो, and put it to the local authority कि ये पेड़ की परमिशन ली गई है. There is a tree authority. Without the permission of the tree authority, not a single tree can be cut. और आज दिल्ली की किस तरह का पोल्यूशन है, दिवाली से लेके दिसंबर तक आप दिल्ली आना नहीं चाहते हैं. Who is responsible? But you have to be agile, you have to be alert, and I always feel, मैं आज भी कहती हूँ कि जब मैं काला कोट पहन लेती हूँ तो मैं अपने को किसी से कम नहीं समझती. So this is what you have to have. So make use of your legal expertise to promote justice for all, be a force for good, and be the change maker. Good luck, future legal wizards. Take the world by storm. Jai Hind.